First one up today is from Muzzammil Shaik. Although I personally have no problem with staying in my seat for the entirety of Endgame, do you think theater chains should reduce the number of trailers behind it? The usual is 20 minutes. I personally think they should just limit it to a few Disney previews like Lion King, Rise of Skywalker, Frozen, Aladdin, and maybe throw in Far From Home. 10 minutes and start the movie. Would love to hear your point of view on this.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that look again. The one of the big topics of conversation lately has been about the runtime of the movie of Endgame and stuff like that, 3 hours, and some people suggesting, well, maybe what the theater should do is limit for this long movie the number of trailers they show. Here's the problem: movie theaters make money off those trailers that they show, and what the movie theaters are going to say, and I understand. What the movie theaters are going to say, that's not our problem. Like if Marvel puts out a movie that is 3 hours long, the movie theater owners should not be the one to suffer by reducing the amount of money we're able to make on the trailers that we show and all that kind of stuff. That's not our problem. Why make it our problem? So I simply don't see that happening. Now, look, I've said for a while now, Rob, that I have a very firm belief that this whole thing about the 25, because it's not 20 minutes, my friend, it's like 25 minutes and sometimes a little bit north of that. It used to be 20, it used to be 15. Now they run these freaking pre-shows for like 25 minutes. They do need to get this under control. This has got to be changed. Somehow, some way, it's got to be wrangled in a little bit. But that being said, when it comes to a movie with a runtime of, like, say, 3 hours with Endgame, there's no reason that we should say, oh, well, the ones that should take the consequences of this is the theater itself. They're the ones who should take the consequences. Because the theater's just going to look at us and say, well, why is this our problem? This is not our problem. We're showing our trailers. The studio can make the movie long or short. That's fine. But we're going to have our trailers. I just don't see any way around that. Rob, how do you approach that? How would you answer that question?
Well, I think, first of all, it's not like you pointed out, it's not the theater's responsibility to take care of their patrons beyond showing a great movie with great sound and picture and providing nice refreshments. Knowing, I mean, it's like everything else. We know the movie's 3 hours and 2 minutes long. I think it's up to you. Do you want to sit there and drink a giant, large Diet Coke, which is what I like to get, or do you want to be responsible and maybe duck out for one of the credits or two, not credits, trailers, one of the trailers or two of the trailers, miss the trailers, knowing when the movie's going to start? You're not going to know exactly, but take care of your business, and then don't expect to drink a large drink for 3 hours. You gotta plan accordingly. There's nothing wrong with planning accordingly. It's like being in the military. This has got to be a strike with military precision. You have to be in your seat. You've got to be zen about it. You got to be ready to go. You got to be prepared to let it wash over you. This is the culmination of 22 movies. You need to man up or woman up or gentle people up, whatever you do, and stick it out. Get ready for that end game. You too must be like the Avengers themselves, taking on the burden of the universe.
I don't see how that applies to the trailer. I mean, because you can just go to the bathroom during the last trailer. I'm not sure how any of that has to do with the question. But I mean, bottom line though is I don't think it's the theater's responsibility.
No.
Like if the studios decide to make a longer movie, that's fine, but it's not the theater's responsibility to say, well, then we have to take on the burden of that and we have to reduce the number of trailers. I think they need to reduce the number of trailers generally across the board. But if what your standard right now is that 20 to 25, it's not their job to shorten that up. So, anyway,
but I think, John, they're going to probably do that anyway, because imagine if you could fit 3 or even 4 shows of Endgame in, with all those trailers, they could probably get a 5th show if they didn't play as many trailers, depending on how late they're going to stay.
They've got contractual obligations for those trailers, so they can't get out of that. So it creates a little bit of a conundrum. So everybody's looking for ways to shorten this experience up just a little bit. We'll see it only less than 2 weeks, guys. Less than 2 weeks till it hits theaters.